What's up, everybody? This is Hector from International MMA, and this is the weekend recap for the week ending in October 18th. Nick Diaz had a Tuesday to go ahead and get his petition signed to 200,000 people so the Supreme Court can go ahead and review his case. The case being that Nevada State Athletic Commission went and gave him a fine of $240,000 as well as a 5-year suspension from MMA. For anybody who doesn't know MMA, 5 years is basically end all career kind of situation, especially with the age of Nick Diaz being 32. It means he would come back around the age of 36. He got it signed, and so now we are awaiting a date for his actual trial to go and have go up front to the Supreme Court and see if we can actually lift that 5-year ban. My pros and cons with this is playing devil's advocate with this. I am against the 5-year probation, but at the same time, if it was to get lifted, could we actually trust Nick Diaz coming clean to a fight? And would this be wasted time, because a lot of his last fights he has came out positive for marijuana. Other than that, my whole thing with this as well is that Nevada State Commission came out with a positive urine test, and yet there was 3 different separate tests that they did blood, and he came out negative. Everybody knows that urine is not as consistent and as accurate as blood, so we'll see what happens. In other MMA related news, we had Browne confirming that him and Ronda Rousey were engaged in a serious relationship. He said, quote, that this is not my girlfriend, but this is more of she is my woman, I am her man type of relationship. This goes under great criticism because of the reason that Browne in the past has been known of having allegations of abusing his wife, as well as the knowledge that he was starting a relationship with Ronda Rousey while technically still married to that woman. On the reason that this is more MMA related and not gossip related is simply because MMA now is a fixture in the household, and she is supposed to be representing women empowerment. And her dating with somebody like Browne can come out as a negative reaction, and as well as a questioning as should MMA fighters actually be dating in the same organization. We have people who are like that with Miesha Tate and Bryan Caraway. Not sure what the UFC's response will be for this kind of stuff. They have been kind of quiet about this whole incident, probably waiting for the Ronda Rousey and Holly Holmes fight to go ahead and happen, and then probably discuss it after. In other MMA Ronda Rousey thing, Ronda's mom's Dr. Damaris went into a Latin Nation interview, and at that one she actually started talking about Edmond, her personal trainer, saying that Edmond and his team are taking advantage of Ronda Rousey and her popularity, and she is only the real reason why they are still afloat. So she is saying that Edmond is basically using her as a cash cow to go ahead and promote his training camp, and yet Ronda Rousey is the only one that has came out in success out of that training camp. I have actually met Edmond in the past and seen his other fighters, and this kind of speculations, especially when I went there, always on this phone, even during the event, even while coaching this fighter on the side instead of paying attention, was on his phone only to assume could have been with Ronda Rousey. But these kind of speculations kind of seem true, and she is not happy, and she wishes Ronda Rousey to go ahead and leave that camp. World Series of Fighting kicked off on October 17th. Main event was Fitch versus Okami. Fitch doing no problem taking out Okami in the 3rd round. There was the flyweight event as well. First flyweight championship that was kicked off the CNBC Sports Network event. Very weird channel for even World Series of Fighting. Sometimes you don't even know that they're happening. If you look on your TV, the guide even says yet to be announced. It's kind of like a joke of NBC to even have. They don't even properly promote the channel, yet alone the World Series of Fighting. But on that one, we had Nick Newell, who is known be having a disability with his arm, half of his arm missing. It kind of ends up going towards the forearm. Calling a retirement, saying that his body can't take it, that the last 3 fighting camps he had not felt good. He was injured in every 3 fights that he went into the World Series of Fighting championship fights, and that his body can't take the toll of doing the weight cut and getting prepared for a fight. So he's actually calling for a retirement, which is unfortunate. I don't necessarily think that his body is taking that toll. I feel necessarily that maybe his training camp is not training him as well as they could be, and really trying to avoid injuries during his camp. Wish him the best, but we'll see what happens. A lot of people have retired before and came back. I probably never heard of somebody's body taking a toll during training, and that like that. I think it's more of a training issue, and hopefully we'll hope to see him again in the Decagon for a World Series of Fighting. That is it, people. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to us. Go ahead and like our channel. We have Tachi Palace Fights coming up in November 19th. We also have Warrior Cage up in Porterville. That is on October 30th. You might want to go ahead and cop a ticket for that. As well as November 6th, we have 559 fights going out in Visalia, California. A lot of fights happening in the Central Valley. You like us, go ahead and subscribe, like our shit. Do what you got to do to be